game, Kirby after that game was talking about he just couldn't stop him in the red zone. So we studied that hard, and we had some plans. We just didn't get a chance to call those plays.
Well, I've always wondered, what you would have called and what you might have run down there, because it was so close. I mean, it was so close. How long did it take you to get over that?
Like probably everybody out there, I don't think we're ever going to get over that game. First meeting back with the players, the offense, I said, men, people keep telling you, hey, you got to get over it and get ready to go. The bottom line is you're never going to get over it. You got to learn to live with it. You got to regroup, play the next game, and get better the next day. And just something, we all got, we're in this sport long enough. I have a couple from high school, a couple playing days in college, and you don't have to coach it too. That's just part of the game. That's what makes it great. We were in that situation, we were in that game, and proud of how hard our guys fought and how hard they played.
Makes you hungry to get back.
It does. I think I've never been more hungry to have spring ball, to anxious for the season. Usually everybody's like, hey, you ready for the season? When you go to these things, and I'm like, no, I'm actually ready for a vacation this summer. But this year I'm itching to get back there, out there on the grass, and fortunately we've got some players coming back, and I think all those guys are hungry too.
I think the big question in the Bulldog Nation, this is going to be kind of a strange question. All the losses on defense and how they're going to replace it. You have to face that defense, and you certainly did all during spring. Make them feel better about the Georgia defense this season.
Well, I think you're going to have a lot of guys playing on defense. We had 12 to 13 playing last year. I think we've got a lot of young guys that are anxious and hungry to get on the field defensively. I see a lot of athletic guys. I see a lot of intelligent football players, guys in the secondary that have ball skills. And I've heard Coach Rick say it on numerous occasions, but I think the number one thing would be overall team speed. And that's one thing, you can always look back at Coach Rick, coach teams, is guys are going to play hard, and they're going to fly around the ball, and they're going to play together. I don't think it'll be any different this year, offense, defense, and special teams. We're going to give it all we have and lay it on the field every Saturday.
Coach, offensively, Georgia has been, right at the top in all categories here over the past couple of seasons. And now you got everybody coming back except for TK, Marlon Brown, offense. How excited are you about just having everybody back like that? But then you're bringing in some additions too that will help.
Yeah, I am excited about it because it's hard to replace experience. And we have a lot of experience coming back. Guys that have made plays in big-time environments, guys that have made plays on the road in SEC stadiums when it matters. And that's stuff that they can draw on, like Coach was talking about, those 3 young freshmen. Guys have done it. And so there's a confidence level there with those guys when they step on the field. There's already the belief. I'm a firm believer that if your guys believe in what you're doing, you're always going to have a chance to succeed. And I think that's where we're at offensively right now. We've got a lot of guys that believe in what we're trying to do offensively, buy in, and they're really an extension of the coaches. So that's one thing I'm extremely excited about. We are losing DeVar's King, who you mentioned. He led the league in 22 yards per catch last year. A lot of guys forget that. He was our big play receiver, and Marlon Brown was having an outstanding year to his unfortunate injury in Ole Miss. So those are 2 veteran players that play a lot of football. But we have a lot of guys that make plays at that position, the receiver. And one guy in particular that had a great spring was Justin Scott Wesley out of South Georgia in Camilla. He had great spring, one of our most improved receivers. I think the confidence level he gained from playing in the bowl game when Malcolm Mitchell went down with a concussion, he caught 3 passes, 2 big third down conversions, and him making those plays in the game gave him confidence to carry it over into spring ball and get better.
How to make that next step.
The next step, and that's what you're looking for. And really looking for with our whole offense is taking that next step. I've really been kind of the bad guy with offense all spring. I hate the word complacency. I don't want to become complacent. I don't want to think we've arrived because there's a lot of patting on the back. Hey, we were so close. We should have been the national champion. But we weren't. We didn't win the game. So there's a hunger there. I want our guys to feel that hunger and work hard extremely every day to get there. And that's what it's going to take. Every day, focusing on every day, not the SEC championship or where the national championships play. It's focusing on every day right now, and there's such a big part of football is the off season from spring ball until fall camp. You know, we cannot be involved as coaches, and they have got to do it on their own with our strength staff. And I think it's one we're so fortunate to have Aaron Murray coming back, who's a fifth-year senior that's going to lead that. And I think that was big for us last year, is the leadership he had this summer, and he's going to have to do the same this summer.
This is kind of when they become a team, right?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. In football, you got to be. You know, we're all going to drive them as coaches, and you love it when those players take over. And I thought in Aaron Murray's maturity process, since he's been here, last year when he made that big step of becoming more of a leader and really organized the summer workouts and took ownership of it and held people accountable. And when players are holding other players accountable, I think you have a chance to be successful. And I think that's where we're at right now when I talk about the belief and accountability, and I expect the same this summer.
All right, who's got a question for Coach Bobo? Raise your hand here and we'll get a microphone to you. Anybody?
Yes, sir, Mr. John.
Wait, right over here. Okay, we'll get a microphone right to you there.
Coach, congratulations to you and Will Friend, the line coach, Tony Ball. Who this year will step up and be the leader of the offensive line? And great job, y'all did.
Thank you, John. Offensive line, we do have everybody back on the offensive line. And when I was talking to the reporters earlier before this event, and they were asking about the offensive line, I basically said one guy is entrenched in my mind and another coach's mind as a starter, and that's David Andrews, our center. You know, he had to take the place of one of the best leaders I've ever been around, at Ben Jones, who was a 4-year starter for us at the University of Georgia. And David Andrews came in, not a highly recruited guy, undersized guy that kind of went through some of that adversity Coach Fox was talking about early on in his career, and started as a freshman and then played last year as a sophomore. And he's coming on, and now it's his team. And we challenged him that in the spring. He did a nice job of that. Right before he left after finals, he came to our office and sat down, and we talked about what you're talking about. I said, it's your team. You have to have a great summer, and he's ready to embrace that role. And really proud of how he's matured, and he's going to be a junior now, and I'm looking for big things out of him.
You got a lot of guys who have stepped up in that offensive line now. You got more depth there than what you, I think, thought you even had.
There's no doubt. 2 years ago, we lost 3 great linemen in Cordy Glenn, who started with the Buffalo Bills, Ben Jones, who started with the Houston Texans, both of them first-year starters, and then Justin Anderson was with the Colts. Have a bunch of young guys that had to play. They probably weren't physically ready to play in the SEC, but I say it all the time, they're smart young men who accept and kind of welcome the challenge that Coach Friends put in front of them. And John mentioned Will Friend. He does an outstanding job with the offensive line. He's got a great balance of really getting on their tail and then putting his arm around and loving them. And that's what you got to have as a line coach, and really fortunate that we have him at the University of Georgia. He does an outstanding job.
Well, let me get a microphone over here to our chapter president. I'll get back to you in a second, but I want to get the microphone over here to our chapter president, John West. John, I'm hoping you got a good question, and I'm sure you got some good words.
Well, this gentleman took my question, but this will be a softball, but it'll be perhaps something more fluently based and intended. Who's going to surprise us with this year's offense? We've got a lot of superstars coming back, as you say, but who's going to be surprising? Who's going to make some plays that are really going to stand?
Well, we do. Just our skill positions. We've got so many guys that are coming back that have made plays. But the guy I mentioned earlier was Justin Scott Wesley, who coming out of high school, a little bit about his background, he was a superb track athlete. He's actually running on our track team right now in the outdoor track season. He's got the fastest 100-meter time ever in the history of Georgia at 10.2 100-meter. He can absolutely fly. But he was not a football player. He was very raw, and Coach Tony Ball, who John mentioned earlier, does an outstanding job with our receivers at coaching the little things and the details. and has really refined this guy's game where I think he's going to have a breakout year. And then on top of that, I think there's going to be a number of opportunities for guys to make plays in the backfield. We had two backs last year in Todd Gurley and Keith Marshall that had a lot of continuity there. They stayed healthy. But we're going to be looking for that third and fourth back. You've got to have more than two running backs in this league. And right now we've only got two scholarship backs on campus, and Todd and Keith, but we've got Brandon Douglas from here in Augusta, and then A.J. Sherman from down in Florida. So both of those guys are going to be given opportunities, and I expect both of those guys to play. How many scrimmage downs they get early, I don't know, but we got to get them ready to play because they're going to have to help us this season for sure.
All right, back here.
Coach, thank you for being here, and the president-elect, this is an exciting night. Thank you all for coming to Augusta. Everybody and their dog likes to say that they were there New Year's Day '81 when we beat Notre Dame or Bud Ballou with a wonderful pass to beat Florida. I was there your senior year at Auburn, and that's still one of the greatest thrills, that quadruple overtime, and just thank you for that. Quick question about the passing game and our backs. You were going there a little bit a second ago, but utilizing it differently perhaps and open up some different looks there.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot with our running backs in the passing game really since '08 when No. Sean was a sophomore before he left us, but he was the last really back when we tried to get the ball to out of the backfield. A lot of that has to do with skill set of who you have back there. You don't want to do things to put guys that they can't do. You want them to be successful. But I do feel like Todd and Keith, we're going to be able to do more things with them because, as I said to somebody earlier tonight, these two guys, the first year you kind of take it easy on them, but as the season went on, I felt like there was not anything that I could not give them because of their maturity and how conscientious they were week in and week out of learning the game plan. So I have a lot of confidence in them of learning what to do and being able to execute it. So we'll do a multitude of things, and as this fall camp comes in, we're going to throw everything at them. Where this past year we did not throw the whole offense because we knew we were going to have two young guys. We're going to throw everything at them, and we're going to see what they can do. What they can do best is what we'll do. But we're going to try to, whether it's screens, whether it's moving them out of the backfield, I don't know yet. We've got to see their skill set. But I was very impressed with that catch that Keith Marshall made in the ball game, that kind of game-sealing touchdown catch, a really good throw by Murray, but a better catch by Keith Marshall. So we'll see. And it could be J.J. Green or Jamel Terry, guys like that. They come in and can fill that role. That is something that we can expand on our offense, and we're always looking for guys.
J.J. is the guy that you used in the Jordans in the G-Day game, a little bit out of the backfield, catching passes.
J.J. Green, yes.
J.J.
He is a true freshman.
He's a true freshman.
He's kind of a specialist.
Came in
He's a corner, running back. He's a guy that's a special teams player that I don't know where we're going to use him yet, but he's the definition of a football player. To every man you talk to in South Georgia that plays that kid, they say that guy's a football player. I like guys on the team that are football players. And speaking of coming to mid-year, we had 13 guys coming to mid-year, so that's like a whole signing class. So those guys had a head start on the other guys, 19 guys that we got coming in this in June. But the thing about those 13 guys, and what impresses me is how confident they are when they walk in. Guys like Trey Matthews on defense and safety, that was really impressive.
Well, everybody makes
just the confidence that he plays with. I remember I came in when I went to school. I came in as a freshman, came in the summer, and nobody came in the summer. And I was early, and I was nervous, and didn't know. But these guys, they're so confident. They come in, they're ready to play. That's a tribute to the guys that Coach Grant recruited over there. We got in Georgia.
We got time for another couple of questions. Who else has? Yes, sir, right here. We got a microphone coming to you, sir.
We said a lot about the offense, but something not being publicized very much. What about special teams?
Yeah, well, I think we improved on our special team. Well, I know we improved on our special teams from 2010 to 2011, 11 to 12. We had two freshman kickers, and Marshall Morgan and I'm drawing a blank right now, the punter. What's from Cartersville? Yeah, we don't like to punt, but I'm drawing a blank on a punter. You know the punter's name? It's not good, but, Colin Barber from Cartersville, that's right. I think those guys, all season is going to be big for them. And I also think we were low on our numbers last year, okay? And overall scholarship numbers, we weren't at a full 85. You know, this year we're close to a full 85, so that's more bodies that you can have on special teams. All these young guys that I mentioned, these 13 guys, these other 19, these 30-plus 90s guys we have, those running backs, Brandon Douglas, A.J. Turner, athletic-type bodies are going to help you with special teams. When you can put guys like that on there, they might not be ready to play scrimmage downs. Okay, the first game against Clemson, and the second game against South Carolina, but you get them on the field, you get them on the kickoff coverage team, you get them on the punt rush team, they get experience, they gain confidence, and I think those guys, those young players that we have on our football team, that's when they're going to get experience and confidence and end up helping us overall and improve our special teams.
All right, time for one more. Who else got a final question? No, right here, yes, sir. Got a microphone coming to you.
What's the spread for the Florida game this year?
Georgia +1.
That's what the final score will be, at least that, you know.